go. Figuring out the sound technology. Welcome everybody who's not here right now, but that's okay. We gotta get started. If you are tuning into this at another time, we got somebody on. What's up? Thanks for being here. My name's Melanie. For all of you that don't know, for all of you that you know, thanks for tuning in again. My name's Melanie, and I draw and paint mandalas. It's what I do when I have a few spare minutes. And so for the last couple of months now, I've been doing a live video every week where we take on the challenge of a new mandala journey. And we completed one. And so now what you see is like the beginning picture. That's what we're going to be working on today. We started it last week. So if you weren't available to watch that, come on back and check out the last video. I point over here like it's going to be there, but it's not. So yeah, we're going to do some mandala artwork, but until then, I like to play a song every week, and this one I have the lyrics to in a book somewhere in my art stuff, and I'm getting ready to transport all of my art stuff to our new location. And when I do that, I'll be able to get all my lyrics. But I'm going to sing a little blip of this song, and then I'm going to sing the song from last week because I've been practicing it, and it's pretty awesome. Hey man, what's up? How are you? Thanks for being here. If you're here, hit the like button because it helps boost the algorithm, all the things. I don't believe I've ever sung this song before. I'm all nervous now that one person's watching. But this one is called My Soul is a River, and I wrote it back in 2020, and I only remember the first half of it, so here we go. My soul is a river flowing over the land of the physical, mean the demands, the unbelievable, always achievable, but only if you choose it. My feet are walking heavy, still towards the sun. Stardust made my soul, and what I've become, oh, what I've become. That wind blows so strong, it's tearing shit up and changing it all around. This is the part that I don't remember, but sing the chorus one more time. And I can't even remember the chorus. So there you have it. There's live music in a nutshell when you can't, like, one thought comes in your head and you lose it all. But I was saying before you signed in that the book that has these lyrics in it is in all my art stuff, and I'm getting ready to tear it out of storage and put it into our new space that we're gonna have our juice business. So I'll be able to get the lyrics for that one. There's several other songs I think I wrote in that book. So it'll be exciting to see what we have. But this is the It's Crazy song, and I've been working it and changing up the rhythm and have it memorized. It's crazy how all the moments line up, finding my soul lately after I'm all tied up in the space of life that we're living. It's all about the love and the giving. Who's going to win? Who's stuck in their sin, who wants to move forward, who wants to blow towards something better. On this boat of life, we be making some choices, learning to sound our voices while living. Some for the better and some for bad weather, some for the kindness, some for the laughter. So relax and let go, ride the waves and enjoy the show. No matter how they let go and let live, let go and dream big, let go and live big, let go and love big. So be a nice human being, go and tell the world what you see and be different from what you see. Learn to stand in integrity. Remember who you are. Remember where you come from and how far. Keep your heart open. Keep your love flowing. Keep your heart open. Keep your love flowing. So relax and let go. Ride the waves and enjoy the show. No matter how big, let go and let live. Let go and dream big. Let go and give big. Let go and love big. And then I have all these dreams of, thank you so much, man. I have all these dreams of this song like flowing into the cool percussion journey there and all that jazz. However, it's not at that point, and I want to repeat the last verse. And yeah, I really like that song too. It is in my mind probably 90% of the day. That's how I've memorized it, because it's just flowing through all the time. But yeah, so we are going to do some work today. It's not work, it's fun, right? We're going to be building on this lovely here mandala, 4-point mandala, and it's got some cool layering effects where these bigger petals are tucked behind. I've done a little bit more work on the whole thing. I've just been playing with the different colors, probably going to make them into stickers. I did this one the last couple of days, and yeah, just brings a lot of joy. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this camera right around. I'm going to turn some lights on. Yeah, and then there was light. So on this journey, this is always fun. Woo. There's my ceiling. It's lovely. Got some cool light fixtures. Look at those. Oh my fucking God. Excuse my language. Holy Chicago. This is on live. You got to see this, bro. Oh man. You probably can't even hear it anymore. Ah! This is my sketchbook. Oh, dang, dang. What is this? This, my friends. Well, this is what moms do. We fucking clean up all the shit all the time. Clean up the milk. But you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to cry over spilled milk, because that's just no fun. Yeah, this is a mess. Oh no is right. But I believe the artwork's okay. The artwork survived, so that's good. We're going to look for the positives. Really disappointing part is that my cacao is all over the counter. But while we're here cleaning, we're going to talk about a company. These are my headphones, man. Oh, son of a nutcracker. So we're going to let me know if the sound's still okay. That is a great time to talk about Cacao Supply. They are a wonderful company. I do not, or Cocoa Supply, I'm sorry. I think he ordered from, I have to look into it. I don't think it's the same place, but we bulk order our cacao from small farmers and it's organic practices, and it's not little children picking the cocoa beans. Like, it's legit people doing this. And I like to support small local business as much as possible. And since we don't have cacao plants here in North Carolina, there, I just got rid of all the crap that needed to get rid of out of this puddle. I'm gonna need a bigger towel. Holy cannoli. So yeah, I like to support local businesses. So since we don't have cacao trees here, I looked for a great company to get subscribed with to be able to enjoy it. Thanks, dude, for letting me know. What a journey. What a journey. What a live video. Sorry for the curse words if I have younger people watching. I've noticed that some of my subscribers are on the younger side of life, and I want to say I'm glad you're here. And I don't always have the best mouth and best behavior. I mean, this shit's everywhere. Oh my goodness. But the knowledge and wisdom that I am passing off to future generations is definitely something that needs to be heard. So I applaud you, and I find gratitude for you finding my channel. Ouch! I bonked my head. I'm sorry, we'll get started here shortly. Ain't no spilled milk gonna bring down this parade. I'm gonna have to go take my shoes off. Oh my gosh. Oh man, it's like all down the wall. I'm gonna have to go get more towels. Ain't no spilled milk gonna stop this party. Ain't no spilled milk. Sorry, not sorry, darkness. Even though you take my drink and you throw it everywhere. Ugh. So go get yourself your own cup of cacao. Go get yourself your own cup of tea. Go enjoy outside for a few minutes. Take a breath. I'm gonna wipe my feet off. What is this all about? Just come back in a few minutes. I gotta steam clean the rug. Oh man. Not stopping. Doing it anyways. Oh, did it get it? I missed the guitar. Good news, it missed the guitar. I'm doing a pretty good job. Oh. All right. Now that we've done all that. Nope. We got cacao everywhere over here. Oh, there's a bin here with a juicer in it. At least the juicer was in the bin, sealed tightly so that we could preserve cleanliness. Oh my gosh. Y'all. So yeah, full moon, lunar eclipse. And in the eclipse season right now, and that's in Scorpio, so it's bringing all the dark shit to the surface for cleansing and purging, and a final cleansing and purging of cycles that have been going on for years. This stuff is tied all the way back to 2019, 2020. I don't know if I'm going to have to throw that basket out. Yeah, I probably am. It's like soaking. Oh, fuck it, it is what it is. It's maple syrup concoction. And since I've run out of towels, I wouldn't want the guitar splattered, right? But in all reality, this is only taking me 7 minutes to complete, so it's not terrible. As of right now, we're at 7 minutes. Oh, ran out of towels, so we got some paper towels handy. I still have cacao. Feel like that's a win. Sorry to bounce the phone around. All right. Tidbits of wisdom in this crap. And sometimes life throws things at you, like spilling your favorite cup of awesomeness all over the floor while you're trying to do the one thing that you schedule every week just to do and have fun with people. And this is what you get handed. But it shows us coping mechanisms. It shows us the process of letting go. It shows us that shit happens that you can't control sometimes, but having a good and positive attitude and choosing to move forward in a positive way brings good things to you. I don't know what those good things are just yet, but I know they're there. I know that they're coming. All the good things have come already, and everything's come when it's meant to, and gonna help us on that journey in exactly the way that it's supposed to. Ugh. All right, I'm almost done with the floor. I'll deal with the basket later. I gotta wash my feet off real quick because that's a hot mess. Hey, the good news is we'll still have 30 minutes. Woo! I still got a cup of cacao, pretend coffee. Whee! All right. Laughing Turtles, thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all coming on. So there's our artwork for today. This is crazy. This is our artwork for today. And also bonus. All right, so I just accidentally turned my phone screen off. But we're back. Whew, all right. So I'm gonna take this darn cup of coffee. I keep wanting to say coffee, but it's not. It's cacao. It's in there. We're gonna take a drink. And there you have it. So, when life happens, you clean up the crap and move forward anyways, right? Oh, look, this artwork comes with cacao. That's okay. So today, we're working on this 4-pointed petal space here. And there's some things that I see right here that I already want to clean up. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to add like another little petal here because I can. We can do whatever we want. And that's also relevant to this life. You can do whatever you want. I was listening to a really amazing podcast today about the corruption and the evil that built our public education system. I guess it shouldn't be called evil. It was smart. It was what was needed at the time to get the Industrial Revolution going, because back then most people lived rurally. Most people lived in small communities. There weren't big machine factories, all that stuff. And they homeschooled their kids, and they taught their kids the values that they'd been taught by their parents. We're going to put a little triangle in here because it'll be fun. We'll have this little pink party space in here. The families taught the kids themselves. They helped out on the farm, all that jazz. And so the government needed to come up with a way to encourage people and then eventually force them to send their kids to public school. And if you didn't send your kids to public school, they got taken away. They continued to try to like instill this fear in people, and probably are still trying, even in these last decades, because having your children in the public education system means that they're training you to be smart enough to complete job tasks, but not smart enough to become an entrepreneur and do it for yourself so that you're always a part of a system. I was like, gosh, it is so sad. Yes, so true. So sad and so true. All at the same time. And so this was all started in the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, and they decided that they needed to get a bunch of people prepared for this industrial system. And to do that, they took children and they stuck them in school and taught them to be obedient and listen to their teachers and do what they're told and not ask questions. And if they start to question things, then give them a lot of trouble for that. I'm feeling a spiral. I don't normally do this, but I'm feeling it, and so we're going to do it. And they started programming children. They also took a whole bunch of Native American children and slammed them in public education boarding schools, where a lot of them died. Starvation, neglect, and they thought that they could reprogram the spirituality out of these children. and force them to become like the white man. This happened well into I think the 1960s throughout this country as well as Canada. There are mass grave sites associated with these places. If you've not heard of them, look them up because it will change your life in one way or another. So here we are. We have these little swirlies. What are we going to do here? I'm going to extend that spot because I feel like it's going to flatten out my circle. Maybe I should wait. I got to wait. Man, it's funny, like, are you going to be able to overcome being rattled? That feels like the lesson in today's video. I had plans to talk about my yoga journey and what yoga's taught me and how to help people get started on their yoga journey, but I guess maybe that should be reserved for a different day. So what I thought was brown around these edges was definitely like a burgundy. Doesn't have a color on it. It's not like the Crayolas. So yeah, come in here, watch this thing spin around. And hopefully makes people feel a little bit better. Sure makes me feel better. Sometimes I feel like I'm Mr. Rogers. And I come home after the barn and I take my jacket off and I put my sweater on and put on my house shoes, take my outdoor shoes off. And when I feel like I'm thinking about Mr. Rogers, it always brightens my day. That dude's like super cool. And he was there for us children when sometimes our parents weren't available to be awesome and helpful, and because they did the best they could do with what they were given. My mom's doing pretty awesome. And actually, she even talked about going to yoga, possibly. But she was like, maybe. I've been telling my lovely mother that she should try yoga since 2008 when I started yoga. She couldn't hear me. And that's okay. And Mom, if you're watching, I don't judge you. And if you're watching, can you buy us 4 gallons of maple syrup when you're up there and bring them on down, and then I'll pay you for them when you get here. I'm going to be meeting my mom over in Raleigh with the girls for a day. In like a week or 2. She's going to be down there watching my sister's doggos. She should come and watch our rabbits sometime. That will never happen, ever. And that's okay. No judgments there either. My girls wanted to stay overnight with my mom, and I was like, nope, you have rabbits to do. Because that's a lot of bunny work. I do my shift at nighttime, but I certainly don't enjoy doing it 5 times a day. Well, this is coming along just nicely. Let's see. I'm feeling these cool things here. And I don't normally do this stuff either, but we're going to throw them in there. We're going to make little, like, feather things. Stitches. And so doing little lines with patterning and stuff like that, I feel like it makes it kind of wavy and hypnotizing. Oops, that one got a little bit out of hand. That's okay. We just keep flowing. We'll see how it looks. It's pretty bold, so you know what? We might go and like bolden this guy real quick, so he doesn't feel so bold out there all by himself. So you know how Google Photos comes up on your phone? Maybe, I don't know. But it tells me things like I've taken pictures in the past. And I was looking for these pictures of my body and stuff from way back when, so people could see the transformation and see like where I've been and who I am now and why I'm there and all of those things. And
Man, going through those pictures, I was so messed up in my life mentally and emotionally, and spent so much of my time hiding from my children and my husband. And I'm really grateful for that technology, as much as I hate saying technology and grateful in the same sentence. But those memories that I got to experience again after having been absent, whether it was mentally, emotionally, or physically. Who do we got in here? Oh, thanks, dude. After going through all of that stuff and it being such a chaotic time, raising children at that age, it was really powerful and healing to see those pictures. We're going to put these little flamey things here. I did these on another one. I think it's diagonal, the half mandala. We're going to put them right there though. And we're going to color these guys in. They're just going to be green today. It's okay to just be green. You don't have to be anything more than green. I can't imagine what it must be like to not experience the memories of the past like that. And I guess I don't have to experience the memories of the past all the time, because I'm not like on Facebook anymore, and I'm not participating in like remember when 3 years ago stuff. Normally the kids like to see some of it, but I mean, for other generations, especially people before the computer's age, if you didn't take a hard photocopy of and picture of it, it's almost obsolete. Like, you're not going to remember it. And so there's lots of gratitude associated with that. So how's everybody been out there in the interwebs? Thank you, everybody, for being here. Is Laughing Turtles still here? I don't know who Laughing Turtles is. It might be Miss Sheila, my neighbor. I sent her the link. Thought she and Ziggy might enjoy watching some live action mandala happenings. We'll see if she comments. How you been doing out there in the... It's not even close to the Rockies, but you know, out there yonder. Them beavers treating you well out there, behaving. Uh-oh. Doing well here. Very pretty day. Oh, that's good to hear. We've got some fluffy white clouds rolling through. It's nice. I like the blue skies and the clouds, and it's not very warm right now, so my parsley's coming back in, and that's pretty cool because I love parsley, and so do the rabbits. They've been going outside every day and having their leisure activity time, living their best life. I feel like there needs to be some teal option up in here. I'm trying to see what's calling out. We added a buddy line. I said that not everybody needed to have a buddy line, but now the stitches aren't alone. When I'm doing yoga and we like put our hands in certain positions and stuff, I see the mandala shapes, like this is a flower petal. And so that's been really cool, going there and watching how like the way my knees and thighs and stuff align and the air spaces in between. Like, I wonder if that's where the mandala designs came from initially, and you just don't even know. Like, it's part of your innate soul deep down inside. And these are the images that are like in your brain and your subconscious, just because you're being exposed to them all the time. Oh, so we have an update on the rabbits. Chuck Norris got neutered last Friday. And he has been in lockdown since, and he's gotten very angry. And so he's supposed to be in lockdown until tomorrow, but I'm taking him out, or until Friday, but I'm taking him out a day early tomorrow. I can't stand to see him cooped up in there anymore. And he just like glares at you when you walk by. I saw video footage of a rabbit attacking a snake that killed her babies, and like vengeful rabbit. And that's new to me. Like, I knew that animals were protective of their offspring, but to like have revenge and fuck around and find out kind of attitude towards a snake, you could try and Google it, like wild rabbit takes out revenge on black snake. I was blown away by the power. She was putting holes in the snake. Like, you don't mess with mama bunnies. You don't mess with bunnies, man. They'll just hold it against you and pee on your floor. He's been doing that too. He's mad. So hopefully he'll be fine coming out a day early. We're going to pray that all turns out okay. It'll all be fine. And good old Chuck can be back to his antics. He's not been able to go to the farm. He's been not been able to go to the backyard, and his litter mates are still nursing, and he just has to stare at them. Yep, the Joe Rogan. Yeah. Yeah, right? Beavers be eaten. Doing well. Okay, yeah. So beavers be eaten. Glad to hear that. Tearing down the trees. And then the rabbit was nuts, and it was on Joe Rogan. So pretty cool stuff what nature can do and is about and all that. We are going to throw some purple up in this business. It's going to be here first. It's really hard for me not to spin the paper all the time. Have you ever tried to draw a mandala? You should totally try it. It's a lot of fun. And then once you draw it and you use a pen, you can like color it in and do it all yourself. You don't have to buy mandala coloring books anymore. Might be a project if you haven't already tried to draw a mandala to do next winter, and then you've got something, or next fall, start learning, and you got something to play around with in the wintertime when it's shitty outside and nobody likes it out there and the snow's spitting and blowing. Yep, you definitely should do a mandala. Change your life, bro. Change your life. I'm going to put 2 dots in here. Be different. Be different from what you see and learn to stand in your integrity. Integrity came up for me this last week. I had a meeting with my friend Joelle and Shannon about doing mandala retreats here. And I had to sit with God many days over because Joelle wants to have meat available at the mandala retreat. I don't feel like I should have put that in there, but we're going to roll with it anyways. She wants to have meat at the mandala retreat. And I've always envisioned my retreats being plant-based because that's what I believe in. That's what I'm building my life. That's what's built my life. That's what's brought me to here. And I want to share that with people. And I felt like for me to support anybody else doing anything different was going to take away from everything that I've built myself up as. And I would no longer be standing in my integrity because there's been business opportunities that I've declined and said no to that we were going to invest in a couple of years ago. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I can't profit from this not being vegan. And this time around, I'm trying not to have that reactionary response anymore and to look at it from a different perspective. And so the perspective I've decided to work at as a foundational like member of this retreat program is that there's a whole bunch of people that are going to be in this house having this food that they might not normally be exposed to or would not normally seek out for themselves. They're going to be exposed to this plant-based cooking while also having the safe options that they're familiar with available to them as well. And so I feel like it might open other people's eyes to a fresher, cleaner way of eating that I wouldn't have had access to had I not done had I chosen not to do this journey. Ooh, I missed a spot. With Joelle and Shannon. And so I held off on saying anything. I did not make a rash decision. It's very hard for me not to react and make rash decisions. That would be like a childhood programming wounding thing. And so I sat with it and I asked myself every day, and I kept saying, I need to message them. I need to message them. I need to message them. And then I never did. I never got around to it. And I'm really glad that I didn't, because I was able to sit in the process and think about the choices that I was making and maybe choose, maybe make a different choice and decision. And so then I talked to a private chef here that I've become friends with through the farmers markets of all places. And she's wonderful. Her name's Jill C. Thompson. If you're on Instagram, look her up. And I think we're going to pair up and be able to offer everybody the best of both worlds. And she also sources all of her meat and fish and stuff locally, which I appreciate more. She knows where it comes from. She knows the farms that she gets it from. And she knows that it's like more ethically better, which murder and stuff isn't like ethical to begin with, but it's better than like, it's a local farmer. It's Heavenly Portion Farms. And they are within an hour's drive of here. She's been to their farm. She's seen what it's about, and she respects what they're doing. And so I want to support more people like that instead of people that are in it for the bottom dollar. Even though her food costs are way more expensive, it's cheaper. She's cheaper than other places that are like chain Asian restaurants and stuff. So I thought that was really cool too. So yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm like, what else are we going to slap in this, friend? And I feel like there needs to be like a little dot in this area somewhere. So I'm going to grab my blue because that's yelling at me. And we're going to put a dot here and a dot here. Make it a little more round. A dot here and a dot here. I love how the tiniest little detail, like a dot, can change the landscape so much. We're going to do this. I think we're going to finish this guy today, which is cool. Even though we had our cacao incident, we survived. I'm going to make myself another cup after I go get the ladies. Bring those little friends home. They've got a recital coming up, which is really exciting. Lulu possibly broke her thumb this week being a nut with her friend Olive. She did one of those and jammed her thumb, and so she's not been able to play, but I told her she could go down there and pluck with her middle finger because it's on this hand and she couldn't hold the bow. So it'll be interesting to see what Miss Deb came up with. I love dots too, Vince. Dots changed my life. I've got one more space. We're going to make some yellow V shapes here. Sunbeams. I don't know what we're going to call them. Triangle, V shape. Depends on your perspective, right? This is our 5-minute warning, guys. That's what I have to do with the girls. Guys, we're leaving in 5 minutes, so just be prepared. And I'm going to slap a little teal dot in the center of that sucker. Be different from what you see. Learn to stand in integrity. Remember who you are. Remember where you come from and how far. Keep your heart open. 5-minute warning at 11:11. Oh, what are the chances? Happy 11:11. I remember when you asked me what that meant. All those, what, a year ago? All that time ago. Well, I don't think that I can stick anything else in that space. There's one thing I can do down here on this guy, though, that I just saw. I'm going to throw a little tiny itty bitty line in this space, in these little bubble petal things. I feel like it gives it a flowier water look. How's everybody out there? If you're not live, let me know in the comments. But how is the transit of this Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius right now, along with this full moon lunar eclipse, along with the previous solar eclipse in Aries, the second new moon of that month? There's been so much initiation stuff happening, and then like the burning away and purging. How's everybody been rocking and rolling through these energies? Because I know that they are not messing around. They're serious energies. So that looks really nice. I'm looking at it through the camera. But yeah, I think that's where we're at with these guys on here. This has been fun. Just a bunch of different mandalas and colors and all the things. So I guess I'm going to sign off. And you know what? We're going to read a passage from my Think Indigenous friend, Doug Goodfeather, because I do have a couple more minutes. And there is a story about beavers in here. And so I need to find it. It's called The Story of the Fur Trapper. I guess I'll leave the artwork there. And I have thought about this. Thank you so much, Vince. I really like them all. But the story is about a fur trapper, and it's from an indigenous perspective. Indigenous elders say that wind can signify that a change is coming. A big wind can be a sign of a big change, but we can affect this change ourselves by turning air into wind, wind into breath, breath into words, and using those words to speak our desires into reality. All too often, we forget that the element of air and the power of the wind have valuable lessons and wisdom to offer us, and all it takes is simply to sit still and follow our breath or listen to what the wind has to tell us. That's powerful. I didn't know that was going to be on this page, but I can be a little bit late. Don't tell Miss Deb. So the story of the fur trapper. 500 years ago was a time of great change for the indigenous people of Turtle Island. The Eastern Territories had been invaded by foreign European hostiles, and the Europeans were sweeping west, claiming and colonizing anything and everything their eyes fell upon. The indigenous people of the lands to the far north had very little interaction with the colonizers at this point, and so they didn't yet realize the destruction that these strange new people from across the great waters were capable of. One day, a pale foreigner dressed head to toe in animal pelts entered the indigenous people's camp with a translator from one of the southern nations. The translator arranged an audience with the council of elders, and the foreigner explained that he was a world-renowned fur trapper and had traveled several moons to meet these elders. He had heard the tales and legends of the great bounty of resources of their land and wanted to establish a trade route to extract the resources of the land and take them to the markets in the east. The fur trapper told the elders that he would make each of them very rich. The elders did not understand the desire for a human to sell the blessings and beings of Mother Earth to make a few people rich. The council tried to teach the fur trapper that the land and the animal relatives of the land belonged to no human. They explained that their council acted as the guardians of the land, and, as such, they denied his request and asked him to leave. The trapper had already considered the elders could deny his request, but he also knew that he could count on their well-known generosity and hospitality, characteristics the colonizers exploited often. The elders granted his request to trap some beaver so he could have pelts to trade for food and supplies on his journey back home. The fur trapper was led to a valley deep in the mountains with 3 very specific instructions. Trap in this valley and nowhere else. Only take what you need for your journey and nothing more, and leave by the next full moon. The trapper agreed and gave his word. The fur trapper quickly learned that the legends and tales did not even come close to the treasure trove of animals available for the taking. Not only was there every highly desired fur pelt imaginable in the valley, but the beavers alone numbered in the hundreds. He began trapping immediately and trapped from early in the morning until late at night. He couldn't empty his traps fast enough before they were full once again. The trapper couldn't even sleep at night because the beavers slapping the water with their tails never stopped, but he would find sleep every once in a while with a big smile on his face, knowing the riches that were piling up due to all the fur pelts. The trapper swept through the valley with his iron traps as the time he was told to leave drew near. A few days before the upcoming full moon, the council of elders asked about the pale-skinned man they had left in the valley. The scouts reported that the trapper had not yet left the valley, nor was he anywhere close to the only practical entry and exit point. The elders sent a band of warriors to track down the fur trapper and escort him out of their homeland. The first thing the warriors discovered was that the trapper had killed nearly every single beaver in their sacred valley. He had bundled up their pelts and hidden them in the caves that were scattered throughout the valley because there were simply too many to haul out in one trip. The warriors quickly found the trapper's trail and picked up speed, knowing the fur trapper was a few days' ride ahead of them and they needed to close the distance fast. At this time, the trapper was becoming anxious, knowing the elders would send warriors to find him soon. But his guarantee of being powerful and wealthy beyond measure was only a couple hundred more beaver pelts away. How could he stop when he was so close to such a huge fortune? As he lay awake in bed listening to the slapping of the beaver tails on the water and calculating how many more beaver pelts would be required to achieve this fortune, a single howl pierced the night. The hair on the back of his neck stood straight up, and he scrambled out of his tent. It was a wolf relative, and the howl was so long that it seemed impossible that this was the single animal. Then another howl and another howl joined in from various parts of the valley. He realized that he was surrounded by wolves. He broke camp and left immediately. The trapper would travel for a time, and then he would see a couple of members of the wolf pack, which would force him in another direction. A bit later, he would see another few members of the pack off in the distance, and that would force him in yet another direction. This went on throughout the day and night and drove him to exhaustion. At twilight, on his last day, all sounds in the forest went silent. The fur trapper heard a faint rustling all around him, and glowing eyes appeared. There was no time to run. He jumped off his horse and scrambled to the top of a cottonwood tree. The trapper made it to safety, but the faithful horse under his care did not, and the wolves took up position all around the cottonwood. The trapper had faced off against many different predators before, and he was resolved that these wolves would not be having him for a meal anytime soon. He reassured himself that he was a famous trapper known for taming the wild and savage lands of this new frontier, and reminded himself that women idolized him, children called him a hero, and lesser men wished they were like him. The wolves would make runs out the tree and attempt to claw their way up, but they were simply not built to do this. The trapper began taunting the wolves that they were no match for his greatness and should just give up and go away. And, after a couple of days, some of them did. The remaining wolves stayed and stalked the tree, never allowing the trapper to come down or run away. On the 4th day, the warriors had caught up and positioned themselves on a ridgeline a short distance from the wolf pack and fur trapper, watching. It was the night of the full moon, and it was so bright it looked like a silvery daylight shining on the forest. All of a sudden, the wolves began to howl, and as each wolf joined, the crescendo grew, and fear turned the fur trapper's blood into icy river water. The circle of howling wolves parted as the alpha returned with their relative, the beaver. They made their way to the cottonwood tree, where the beaver slowly ambled to the base of the tree that held the fur trapper. The wolves circled the tree as the beaver got to work. Just before the tree started to fall, the trapper gave up hope and began crying. The warriors came and chased off the wolf pack and returned the trapper to the camp and took all his fur pelts. They gave him food and allowed him to rest. The council then met with him, telling him of his wrongdoings, and banished him from their lands. He returned home with a lesson and his life. I don't know if they should have done that, but I thought that story was super powerful and super eye-opening, and also talks about the revenge of animals, and it's the communication of animals and how you fuck around, you're gonna find out. And like, I love that full circle stuff. And so these stories have been passed down for hundreds of years through Indigenous folks still sharing their stories, even though for a time they weren't allowed to. And so I'm glad that they did. But I have to peace out. It is 12:21. That's another number synchronicity. And I gotta get my kids. So sending you all so much peace, so much love, so much namaste. Hasta luego, my friends. Adios.